Hello, my name's Totally Silenced, and today I'm going to be benchmarking my GTX 970, so the Gigabyte G1 gaming editions. I'm going to be doing the benches at 1080p and 1440p, and also on a single card and an SLI. Okay, first I used 3DMARK Firestrike on Extreme preset. Okay, first up is a single card, not overclocked. The extreme score was 4,898 and the graphics score was 5,122. Okay, the overclocked on a single card, the extreme score was 5,489 and the graphics score was 5,801. In SLI, the extreme score was 7,799 and the graphics score was 8,604. Okay, next we have SLI overclocked. The extreme score was 8,789 and the graphics score was 9,720. Okay, then I moved on to a real game, which was Battlefield 4. Okay, first was a single card at Ultra 1080p max settings. Max frame rate was 126, the average was 93 and the minimum was 70. This is 1080p SLI max settings. Max frame rate was 197, average was 160 and the minimum was 110. This is Ultra 1440p on a single card. Max frame rate was 89, average was 69 and minimum was 44. This is 1440p and SLI. Max frame rate was 152, average was 103 and the minimum was 74. Okay, next I moved on to Dying Light. Okay, 1080p on a single card, max settings. The max frame rate was 95 FPS, average was 68 and minimum was 41. Okay, max settings 1080p and SLI, max frame rate 119, average 88, minimum was 61. Okay, max settings at 1440p on a single card. My max frame rate was 70 FPS, the average was 55, the minimum was 31. Okay, max settings 1440p again with SLI. My max frame rate was 95 FPS, average was 80 FPS and the minimum was 67. Okay, next I moved on to Sleeping Dogs. Okay, this is 1080p on a single card with max settings and AA set to high. My max frame rate was 111 FPS, average was 86 and minimum was 67. Okay, next I moved on to 1080p with SLI. My max frame rate was 189 FPS, my average was 131 and my minimum was 113. Okay, then I moved on to 1440p. The max frame rate was 84, the average was 65 and the minimum was 48, and that's on a single card. Then SLI, my max frame rate was 136, my average was 113 and my minimum was 82. Okay, next I moved on to 3DMARK 11, and for some reason with this program it kept crashing as soon as I applied an overclock. I don't really know why. I did read a bit on a forum about something to do with the voltage, but I'm not sure. So these results are at stock settings only, so I could not apply an overclock. Okay, next I moved on to Crysis 3. This is at 1080p on a single card with max settings but with FXAA. the minimum frame rate was 44, the average frame rate was 61 and the max frame rate was 92. Okay, 1080p with SLI, the minimum frame rate was 76, the average frame rate was 111 and the max was 145. 1440p on a single card, the minimum was 38, the average was 42 and the max was 65. Okay, at 1440p with SLI, the minimum frame rate was 65, the average frame rate was 78 and the max was 102. Okay, next I tested Heaven benchmark. Okay, on a single 970 at stock settings, my FPS was 52, the score was 1333. Okay, a 970 overclocked, FPS 58.1, and score was 1462. Okay, 970 in SLI stock settings, FPS 102.6 and the score was 2584. Okay, SLI overclocked, I had a max frame rate of 213.2, so it was an increase of nearly 30 FPS, but the scores were very much nearly the same.